What's up, Eric? How you doing today, buddy?
Mikey, welcome.
With your
Greetings.
fresh haircut. Nobody would
haircut.
know because you're always wearing a hat. So
I have a full head of hair, dude. I am not even close to being bald, and I love it.
You got a little bit of the peak.
No.
I do
What?
too.
Dude,
I do too.
remember, the youngest is in, anyways, the youngest cut the hair. The youngest cut my hair last week.
She's a beautician or
she's going to school for it. She needs like 17 million hours left, and she'll be one of those.
Right.
So we're good. Super. How was your week, bud?
It's been rough.
Oh.
It's been rough.
Well,
but first off, let's welcome everybody to the Contagion Effect.
Yeah, welcome to the Contagion Effect Show.
For those of you that have been around a long time, you
host,
recognize that.
Mike Ellick and Eric Mellon.
There you go. I think he wants to say it. Here, we'll just keep it up. Let's go this. You want to run that through?
Winner.
Hey,
everybody, welcome to the Contagion Effect. And thank you, angelicwines.com. If you need any wine necessities that you need, that is something that you need to get it. You need to go check out angelicwines.com, a proud sponsor of the Contagion Effect Show.
Nice. Welcome
Nana.
to the show. Hello, Nana.
Carlos.
That fade. Carlos, that ain't a fade. It's just a buzz all the way around.
She tried. It's her first man haircut.
All right.
She did a really good job. Remember, this is about a week old.
It's clean.
This is about a week old. It's cleaner than normal.
Right.
I did see Carlos write down.
I know, Carlos, you missed that. I pointed it out right away.
I know. I was like, oh shoot, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on a special haircut. It's all good. Nana, what's up, Nana? You may need to grab some tissues today, Nana.
Yeah, today's gonna be
a rough
an
one.
interesting show. But I do, before we move too far, like first off,
we're getting off track.
Welcome to the show. Please make sure you subscribe to our show. It's been
wow.
For the Contagion Effect, it's actually been a very big week. We had a wonderful guest on last week with the dad bod. The dad bod veteran who graciously shared our show amongst all his channels. Oh, look at we had another person join, but we'll see. It was nice to see how many people decided to follow along.
Yes,
to the Contagion Effect. Eric's very good at communication here.
Here's the thing. I forgot to tell you about. I made the comment. Hey, I just shouted out.
You saw us on bikes.
Yeah, I saw y'all down there past the gate. You know,
BMA. Oh,
what place?
All right.
He was cruising down the road.
Why does Nana? Shauna,
stick around.
It's stick around.
The topic of the discussion.
The topic of the discussion has changed for today. So we felt we needed to address something to
be transparent. We were going to have Pat's Purpose on.
Yes.
Which had to deal with some stuff. I want to get to it in a later episode, but life happens, as people say. Yep. And so the great thing about the Contagion Effect and all of its subsidiaries is we can always reach out to our friends and family. And
it's an amazing community because you see and hear things, and then you go, oh wow, all right, and then we're able to go, hey, are you down with being on the show tonight?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
man, we so appreciate that. So we appreciate our community. We appreciate all of you guys that watch. So Eric, that's bro, we're getting to it. Relax.
So real quick,
man, people in the green room are pushy,
bro.
Right there.
The cool thing,
people in the green room are pushy. Go drink the drinks that are back there. Enjoy the snacks. Leave some for everybody. I know. Save some for Matt. He's a little quiet. He's a little shy.
It's like, hey. Look at little paparazzi sneaking in the back.
I don't know if everybody heard.
Hello,
Shauna, I can't cry. Oh, look at paparazzi's pouring me wine.
Hey, we got
somebody else joining the show. Anyways,
delivery.
So a lot of you heard last week that Eric was going on vacation.
So today's the official last day of vacation because technically I have Friday and Saturdays off, and then I got to go back to work Sunday. So as much as excitement as I had,
there you go,
going into the week, and now it's here. And I'll tell you, San Diego is cool. I'm not a big flyer, but 7 hours in the car, like I may fly next time, and Shauna's gonna be like, "Wow." Like, no, it was cool, man. It was cool.
The drive to San Diego's rough.
She drove 3/4 of the way.
Oh, nice.
Like, she's a hell of a driver.
What are you whining about?
I'm not just saying, She had the easy drive down. Like we stopped like twice in LA for like a couple minutes and flew right through.
Right.
On the way back, no, it was like 8 hours to get home. But other than that, woke up every morning to I knew I was going to forget it. I forgot the name of it. Doggone it. I woke up every morning to helicopters over on.
What kind of helicopters?
They were hell somethings.
Hell somethings?
Yeah.
Well, were they civilian helicopters?
Oh, hell no. Oh, no.
Police helicopters?
I can't even bring
like,
it up.
Were you in the hood and you were dealing with Ghetto Bird or?
Well, it was San Diego, which was funny because Sean was like, hey, it's really clean here in San Diego. I'm like, yeah, no, just the part by the stadium. And then we drove.
No,
like
the stadium's trash. Everything inside the stadium and outside the stadium.
Well, no, that's a Dodger fan.
The Padres are trash. Their jerseys are shit brown. They're trash.
It was fun. It was a great stadium. It was awesome.
Calm down, Ice Cube.
Yeah. It's the
Hey, we'll just all wait here. Everybody just sit in silence quietly while Eric figures things out.
Okay? The HSC 21 Blackjacks. And I know what HSC stands for, but I can't remember right now. So
well, maybe one of our guests can enlighten us.
Hellcat syndrome.
What, you driving Dodges?
Shit.
Hey, way to be prepared, buddy.
But yeah, I know.
It's all good. It's all good. Let's, you know what? While you're doing that,
we have the North Island Naval Station.
I want to hear more about Eric's street cred.
Oh, I got no street cred, bro. Look at me. I got no cred. I grew up in the streets of Modesto.
Yeah.
And then I moved to a gated community. So
yeah, he lives in a gated community.
I live in a gated community. I got a note on my door saying, yeah, your garbage cans need to be back behind your fence and not behind your bushes. I'm like, what?
Well, let's bring Gary into the conversation. And
hey, Gary. Is chomping at the bit because he knows all the answers to everything that we're talking about right
all right,
now.
Eric, what does HSC stand for? We gave you some time.
Which I do appreciate the time. Thank you, fans of the Contagion Effect. The Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron, and there's like 7 or 10 of them over there. But every morning at like 5:30.
What base was this?
The one across that we stayed from. The one across that we stayed from.
In our pre-show, you mentioned it.
Yeah, I know what it's called. That one right there in Coronado.
San Jose, do a gated community in the valley. Yeah, Carlos. And you know, the hoods of Iraq and Afghanistan and all that, right, Carlos?
North Island, Port City.
Welcome to the show, Frank. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Frankie Contreras. He found out why my check engine light's been on the Dodge for 50,000 miles.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's the diesel particle filter.
Accelerator.
Diesel particle exhaust filter.
And Tonto, yes, the streets of San Diego are rough. Maybe when you go down to Imperial Beach or something.
Oh, by the way, he's 3-0. Actually, 4-0.
Who's 4-0?
First call, first talk.
Oh, yeah.
First comment of the day.
Where's your boy? He hasn't even shown up yet.
He's got an
issue. He busy?
He actually physically called me today and talked a little bit about it.
All right.
But yeah, actually, there's like 30 different.
So back to vacation. It was
great. San Diego's cool.
Morning.
No, it was fun. Yeah, no. Don't get the room service at the Sheraton. It was absolutely trash. When you order room service, you figure it's on plates. This is in like a brown box. Like
COVID.
The crispy.
I'm sure they blame COVID.
Thank God that I went crispy hash browns because they came soggy and like just the very top of the hash brown was crisp. Bro.
Good.
We did go eat at Bitchin' Breakfast Bitches.
Oh my God, can you say that?
Breakfast with a B word.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all good.
It was a cool little spot. That was about it. We didn't really eat that good food down there.
Oh, dude. If I go on vacation, we're eating.
Or I know you're going that
we're
breakfast
crazy.
Joint.
Yeah. If we go to LA,
we try to foodie it up, but we just got to the point where we did the zoo. We walked like 20,000 miles.
To the zoo?
Dude, we went to the zoo.
Oh,
that was amazing.
Did you go to the animal park or just?
We didn't go to the animal park. We went to the zoo. We went to Balboa Park.
Okay.
Dude, I've got pictures and I'm gonna post a bunch of them. We went to the Air and Space Museum. Amazing. Just some of the awesome things that were there. We walked all over. There's like 17 museums in Balboa Park, which you have to pay separately for them, by the way. And they range from
that's
like
the same with
$12.
the zoo and the animal park.
No,
and
the
everything
zoo.
else.
The funny thing about the zoo's all included. Right?
Oh, in that.
But the park, the animal park is separate.
Yes.
But everything in the zoo, you can go to whatever. But in Balboa Park, every museum is its own entity.
Okay.
So it ranges from $12 to $25 a person. Yeah, we spent like $400 in museums.
By the time you walk out, you're like,
yeah,
oh shit, where'd that money go?
But it was cool. It was fun. We went to a railroad museum.
Okay.
And in not one piece of literature did it say that it was a model train museum. And so you walk downstairs and you're like, there was model trains. There was like 9,000 model trains.
We're going to the railroad.
Oh yeah,
looking for these big old.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, I'm thinking like Railtown, right?
These little guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Railtown, like call it in Columbia, or the one up in Sac, in Old Town Sac.
Right,
got that. No, dude, model cars, like yay big people.
That's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's awesome.
That is great.
Well,
but
it was
a
worth
good time.
It was fun. It was great. It's always nice to go out with your significant other for a vacation.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But yeah, so
now that I got a real job, I gotta.
Yeah, next vacation's in July. We're going cross country to Port Canaveral, and we're going to the Bahamas.
And then September 9th.
And then September 9th, we're going to Hero Stock 2023. Guess what we have today?
What?
We have the CEO of.
We have the main man, but it's
the
not
man.
time yet.
It's not
time yet.
But it's not that time yet, so calm down.
Yeah, so stay back there. Just be quiet.
He got all leaned. He leaned forward.
He leaned like, all right, I'm ready.
Right.
And
yeah.
No. All right, let's go ahead and get some Scotty, who will be joining us from the road next week. So Scotty.
Taylor.
Oh, did Taylor respond?
Yeah, she wasn't in your email. I resent the email.
Oh, so separate emails now. I'm not cool enough. All right. Cool.
Schaefer. We got Schaefer. We got Hastings. We've got Book.
Yep. And then hopefully we'll get Blue Line.
We'll get Blue Line.
We'll get Blue Line in line. All right. So with that, let's get yes, Shauna.
Yeah.
Eric's coming to Nebraska. Mike can't make it because of the real job.
Plans are in
place. All right, let's get a little Scotty going and get this show rolling because it's gonna be an emotional show today.
Yeah, the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home. But they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
Yes, they do. And Shauna, yes, I was living the retired life a little bit, but I had to go back to work. So want to set my wife up and my wife and I up for some success for the future. So, all right, with that, we're going to bring on a couple gentlemen you've seen before, and one's been bouncing around and we lost him. I'm sure he'll be back. But we've had these two gentlemen on, as Eric alluded to earlier. We have the CEO and founder of Hero Stock, Jason Steiner, and the CEO, soon to be CEO and founder of SitRep 22, Mr. Tom Ettinger. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
What's
Jason,
going on?
Thanks for joining us. Goofy Dick McGee, appreciate you jumping on with us. Appreciate that.
He launched with it.
Mike's goatee looks better than your silly haircut.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. You're calling his haircut silly, so where's that putting my goatee?
No, because he had the long hair.
Oh, yeah.
It was. He posted that almost inappropriate picture where he had the long hair. He was modeling, I guess. He posted that picture. You had the long hair.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, did you guys invite? One of you sent an invite for somebody to join
us? I did.
Okay. All right. Do you want to introduce him?
I don't know if he's coming on. I shot Eric. You got that message?
He's in the waiting room.
He's right here.
You want to introduce him because you know him?
Yeah, sure. It was a buddy of mine, Marine, 8412 recruiter, infantryman. Solid, badass Marine that takes everything seriously, and especially everything that we have going on and what people are going through. He takes it to heart, and he's spearing his own thing now. And I'm excited to hear what he has to say on the topic today.
Okay. And what's his name?
France.
There we go. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey. Thanks for
how you doing? I'm glad, Tom. Thank you for inviting him. And I believe we just signed. We just got you. We're gonna have you on the show.
Yep.
In
June 8th at 6 o'clock.
So
absolutely.
So tonight, here's the deal, everyone. So we did have the meeting. We had our show set up for a group called Pat's Purpose, who's doing great things for veterans, and unfortunately, they had something come up, so they could not join us tonight. And I just happened to be talking to Tom this morning, but last night on social media, and I'll just say on Facebook, Jason Steiner posted and Hero Stock posted. So if you're not following them, follow them on Facebook. A post from a veteran, and hopefully I can get through this part. And the post literally started with, "I am part of the 22," or "I am the 22." Right? I'm one of the 22. And for those of you that may be new to us or haven't watched our show and what it's about, we talk to veterans. You see Tom has the 22 up behind him, and SITREP 22. So 22 is about veteran suicide, right? It's the number we hear, even though a lot of us believe it's probably higher. But I wanted to talk to everybody about last night's post, right? We don't need to share the name because his family's already dealing with a lot, right? We don't need to share the name, but a veteran took his life yesterday and literally wrote like the most detailed post, and it was just like, wow. So Jason, since you posted it, let's start with you and kind of your thoughts on it. What's up, Joey? What are your thoughts on that post last night? And I don't know if everybody else got a chance to see it. Tom, I know you got a chance to see it. France, I don't know if you got a chance to see it yet. But Jason, please share your thoughts and kind of what you thought of it and what the message was.
So originally I saw the post through the organization that he was with. And they were saying, this, so I Googled his name and that came up, and I read the whole post of his, and it really floored me to see how detailed he went and what he was saying in it about how much he loved his family and his friends, and they'd live this fairy tale but he couldn't sleep at night, and he wanted to use this as a way to sleep, and he felt alone, but it was when he started talking about the family and friends and how much he loved him and loved his wife and his kid. And so I started looking at the pictures online too. And like every single picture of this dude on Facebook, he's smiling. Like you never see him like in the background of a picture, or he's forefront in the pictures. He's smiling, he's laughing. He's like, you look at it and you're like, no way. This is not a person that is at that point, to take their own life.
Right.
It really hit me hard, like reading it, because part of what we do with the nonprofits is we're trying to stop this number. We're trying to save that person. And this one happened to be in an organization that my old organization is part of. And then you kind of look at it and go, what if it was one of my guys?
Yeah.
And it was scary, dude. It really was like reading through it was scary how thought out it was.
It was very surreal, like reading it. And, and again, I'm sorry for those of you, I'm not going to share it, but I mean, I don't know if you want to, we can share it on our page so
Already
people can see it. Huh?
Already done.
You already did it? All right. I just, because I want to show respect to his family as well. But the reason I wanted to talk to everybody is that's what you said is exactly why we got to talk about this, right? Because we think we're going to look for the guy or girl that's moping around, and this guy smiling all the time. I mean, Eric went and checked out his page, saw the same things. So, Tom, real quick, you did a video this morning, and I think it obviously had a lot to do with that post last night. Do you want to walk us through that and your thoughts on everything?
I think, well, first thank you guys for having me on. But after reading the post, the most shocking thing to me was that he tagged his family.
Yeah.
That's an impression that's left. Like, I don't know if it was on purpose, like so they would see it, but see it at the same time as everyone else. You know what I mean? So it's like it's real. There's so much to unpack going through each paragraph, and like Jason said, it's in paragraph form. You know what I mean? It's broken down by himself and his wife and his kids, and then himself. I think there's something that just maybe clicked. You know what I mean? Like it could all be good, and then that one migraine, that one headache, let's say, just won't go away, and it ultimately you show how dark it could get, extremely dark like that.
Right.
Well, the wife actually posted on her page.
Did she?
She responded last night, roughly an hour, almost 24 hours ago. And and like I said, I'm not going to share her post because I don't know her.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know this gentleman either.
Right.
But she goes through and she goes, the signs were there at night, but during the day,
he was happy-go-lucky.
They just celebrated, like I said, they celebrated 13 years of marriage. They celebrated 16 years together, just like within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
So it's not the guy that's moping around, like you said, Tom. It's not the guy moping around all that, And then with my dad, it was a different story. He had the physical health problems, right?
Right.
And then going from California to Arizona and and things like that, where you're kind of like, oh shit, like what can we do? What can we do? Like it, in all essence, looks like the happy family. I mean, it's I mean, so I've read that last night.
I was struggling. That's why I read it to so France, I don't know if you had the opportunity. Have you seen the post or?
I have Tom sent it to me earlier, and it was definitely something very hard to read through and something that hit a little too close to home for me as well.
Right. It's and that's why I really wanted to talk to all of you, is because the fact that when he wrote, exactly what you've all pointed out about the, everything seemed happy. You guys have lived through some of the stuff of what you deal with, being a veteran, living through the military life, the life after that, right? And that darkness that's there. And so that's why I wanted your point of view, because for me, I'm struggling. Like, how do you look so happy on the outside? And he talks about his anxiety. Like, I get that. Like, I totally get that. But then how can you put those words on there and then do that act? Like, even the message was kind of positive about his message, barring, I'm about to be one of the 22. Like, conviction was there, right? He knew what he was doing, but that's where I want your points of view on that, is like, how do you get there?
Well, and you take off that top paragraph of it, and it's like all positive.
Yeah.
Outside of the first paragraph, everything else is really positive, and it's like me personally, I don't understand it. I don't know how you can go from that to, committing that act.
Right.
I get it. When you think about the whole essence of the letter, he left no stone. It it was more, I mean, you could look at it, you know, a bunch of different ways how you can unpack it, but it was more beneficial for everyone else.
Right.
Like he put thought into it, he broke it down, made it practical, understandable, and explained why. So there was no, that the shock and awe afterwards. It's like, this is why.
Right.
So I mean that's hard to put in perspective, being able to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like and knowing it. So I could see I could see the writing style of it and why it would make sense, because everything in that was true.
Right.
The whole letter was true. So go even further and take away the first sentence. You know what I mean? And it's still, everyone could, basically almost anybody goes through the same thing, as far as like with the anxiety, with depression.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I take away from that, being able to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, that's well, I I think we need to share everything, that's out there, and we need to talk about this. This is, tonight is not about one man's story. So I'm, thank you for the message that was just sent. But I think we need to probably talk about it all, right? And how people get there. In France, I think this is why you're a great addition to tonight, because you've dealt with this personally, right? And share what you want. I don't want to put you in a position, and I appreciate what you said, but I think it's, this isn't about one veteran. It's about all of you, and the fact that we need to stop this, and what can we do, and how do we, especially a guy like we just saw, man. The message was positive. Everything was positive. You see everything on his Facebook. He's smiling, but he still did it. So France, I know, like, obviously we're going to be talking to you about a little more about you in the future, which we're looking forward to, but you have a story around this to share as well, if you don't mind sharing it.
I do. And thank you again for, letting me hop on here and not just tell my story, but tell my part of my brother's story and so many of the 22. Like you guys mentioned earlier, the person that took his life last night was happy-go-lucky, had seemed to have everything going for him. That's how my brother was. My brother was an athlete. He was a triathlon. He ran a triathlon like a year before, he was a sergeant in the Marine Corps, an infantryman, just like myself. Loved my family, my son and my daughter. Did everything for him, was very close with my sister and I. And he would do everything in his power to just spend time with family. And besides myself, no one knew that he was struggling. And I did everything I could. I made him go to an inpatient program to get help, and he came out of it happy-go-lucky. We had a good conversation. 2 nights before, he took his life.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it like you guys said, it's not the mopey ones, it's not the one with their heads down, it's the ones that have a smile on their face and put themselves out there to put a smile on someone else's face, that we have to keep an eye on.
Wow. Now, did he leave anything, like leave a letter for you guys or anything like that, if you don't mind me asking?
He did. It's been a little over 2 years.
You don't have to share it.
I honestly, I don't have it in me to read it.
No, and I wouldn't ask that, but that's where I feel like these guys have obviously been dealing with something for so long, like last night's gentleman, to be able to write it out for your brother France, like to be able to write something out and then do it. it's been something in their head, right? And it's just overwhelming for me. And you guys, again, you guys live it every day. I can't touch it, but you guys live it every day. And Tom, I know right now with your podcast, Every Second Counts, a lot of what you're doing is around talking about mental health. You posted a logo. So your whole thing is like, say Rep 22 is the war on veteran suicide, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we get better, right? I mean, France dealt with it. You think you're there for them. You think they got everything. This gentleman sounds like his family was there for him, and he even kind of knew that, but it wasn't enough. So where do we go from here? How do we fix this?
I think my only humble opinion is it's the letter writing, the notes that people leave. That's their final letting it out, I believe. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
No, it does.
That's the final release of zero pain. So they, you know what I mean? Because, but believe it or not, it's become ceremonial till Valhalla. You know what I mean? Like, it's as bad as the 22. It's become a stigma. It's become a thing, and it becoming a thing becomes it harder for somebody. And me and France were talking about this earlier today. It makes it harder to be able to open up. It makes it harder to be able to talk to someone, especially if you know them. Especially if you know them. If you know them personally, you're not going to tell them your business. You have a better. I mean, it's for me personally. When you go to the VA or you go to the doctors, it's like, and I've said this before, but it's like you're putting on a show. Like you're trying to answer the right questions the right way, the same way you're performing in your daily life. You're trying to every day do it the right way. But people take failure differently. They take, things, how they make it through the day differently. And I think the biggest thing is the veteran community is the only thing that's going to stop veteran suicide.
Yep.
So with that, I know you're doing something. Obviously, Jason's doing Hero Stock. France, I know, has his own nonprofit going, right? How do we grow our resources? How do we, we've had 22 Mohawks on. We've talked to all these organizations, and there's a bunch of us that are little guys just trying to make it and get the message out there. And even with our show, just last night just got me. And how do we get better? Because I know what we're working on, Tom, and I know, as frustrating as the process is, that I'm hoping there's some real light at the end of the tunnel and some real difference made. But how do we, what do we change now? Like, what do we change today?
The relationships we have with people we have now, the relationships. I mean, I was there with France when we were at the 12 conference, and like things in the military, and Jason's putting on Hero Stock. It's like when you're around people and you have a relationship with them, and it's thicker, it's thicker than water. You know what I mean? And when you have that bond, that releases stress, that releases anxiety, because that gives you an avenue, that gives you someone you worked with, it gives you something. But I think the hardest part is it doesn't start when they get out. It starts the whole process.
Right.
It starts the whole process, because things happen along 4 years, let's say, that can't just be wrapped up in a week class, and then you're back now you're a civilian again. Or, you do, like I did 20 years, you take that, chop it down, and it's like this. You were 18 when you joined. Here's your life. You're 40 now. There you go.
Figure it out.
That reality is maybe It's easy to write a letter like that. I believe this, and I'm just going to say it and I'll just drop it. It's easy to write it when that's not reality. When you're just trying to just make it happen, if that makes sense, like you're just trying to make it happen, you can live in a false reality. Because like you said, everything was happy, smiles, everyone's good. The seed was planted. So it's easy to have that reality and to live in that false reality. Because if you're dealing with PTSD and all these horrible things, stigmas people are going through, you're already in a different reality. Let's just be honest.
Right.
So,
you know, and I think part of it is with the military, when you sign that dotted line, you know that tomorrow you could be sent to war and die. So you, upon signing that line and understanding really what you're doing, you make peace with yourself and with death to a certain degree. And I think for military people, it becomes an easier thing because you have already experienced that mental process of, I could go tomorrow and die, or, you know, I know I'm shipping to Iraq and we're going to be in war and I could die. But if people don't talk, like Tom was saying, if you don't get out and get in these groups, it makes it so much easier for that kind of stuff to happen where, you know, you hole up and shit gets dark and it's easy to go down that route because, you know, if nobody's calling and checking on you, if you're not reaching out to people, you feel alone.
But then we have, you know, the guy like last night and France's brother who, you know, seems like everything's positive and they still do it. And that's where it's really got me. And I think right now I'm, you know, obviously Eric deals with me a lot. Like, you know, right now I'm a little overwhelmed with the new job and all that, but I feel like we as a group, like our whole, like between our audience, all the shows that we're connected to, I think we need to all go to our, you know, like senators, Congress, and start pushing for some kind of bill around that's better than what's out there and stop giving money to Ukraine. Right. We need, I mean, and I'm serious, like there's billions being given away, and think about the impact of just $1 billion, right? Of what would $1 billion do to save mental health in our veteran community?
Right.
What would it do?
I think a problem with that is because I look at that and we spoke on that, and
yeah,
I had an idea about it last week, and I start Googling things, and it's just like anything you Google up about the VA. It's so secretive. You know what I mean? All you get is numbers and charts. And if you're trying to get inquisitive, like where is the money actually going? Because they have VAs in every city, or excuse me, at least 1 or 2 or 3, depending on the state, all spread out with 100 miles.
Right.
It's on purpose. They're unfunded, old facilities. Jason brought a brilliant point. We get in these groups and we talk. They had those. They had the VFWs. They had the Marine Corps leagues. They had all these things in towns,
and they're all gone.
There are no social clubs. There are no. So the gentleman last night, he lived in his shit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And all veterans do, because there's not that daily, or maybe every Tuesday I'm gonna go get a beer and I'm around people, and I've said it enough myself, when it's so hard to reach out to people I knew or worked with, but when you finally do, it's such a relief. There's like a tension and anxiety, like a stigma about reaching out. But when you do, like I ain't talked to France in 2 years. We broke bread like nothing today. But it's just like that. It's that worry. Do I reach out to someone I knew because they knew me then? And I was squared away then, you know what I mean? And when you have a Band-Aid, everyone wants to look at it. You're always trying to disguise it somehow.
When I think, for me, like looking at it from the outside, like I don't think we need counselors. I don't think we need that. I think we need other veterans. Like we have so many veterans that are not in work, right? if you got veterans that could just talk and have conversations, they can make somebody else feel better because they have somebody to share their stories with sometimes. I mean, obviously they have to have some level, it's like, Tom, you always kind of make the joke, I'm not a smart guy. And you say all these things, but you're very well spoken when it comes to this. Right.
Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason Francis here, Jason, you guys, when there's a passion, there's a purpose, you can't not be passionate about it. You know what I mean? When there's something there, it's easy this is easy because it's unpopular, if that makes sense. Right. To make it as big and popular. And I don't want to go off subject, but me and France, we were talking earlier, he made a comment. If you could just retell everyone that the 7 months before, after, and what that mentality can do, you know what I mean? Before you would pump out.
Yeah. So Tom and I, we were talking earlier today about our mentality, and it got brought up because part of my nonprofit, we help first responders and veterans as well. And I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and he was a cop, and he said that the things that he saw in the States hit home, like really hit home, because before we go on deployment, we have a 7-month workup to where it's brainwashing is not the right word, program. We're programming ourselves to, when we go overseas, specifically the combat zone, to not see those people as people, to see the person to your left and right, the person that has your 6. Those are people. The people in front of you that's stopping you from completing the mission. Ultimate mission is everyone home safely. Those aren't people anymore. And then we do 7 months of that overseas. We have that mentality. So right now we're over a year of that mentality. Some guys, they only get 1 deployment in, and they get out after their 4 years. And they get out, and it's culture shock to them.
And they lived.
Yeah.
Now they're superhuman.
But they also had to see everything around them that happened.
So it's ironic, you scroll through all these different sites, and you're trying to pick things here and there, and the one thing that is different, because France, you're saying your brother was happy and like that, and then the gentleman last night, everything looked happy, right? Was there medicine? Was there pills? Were they prescribed something? Like, do you think that has anything to do with it? Because in general, like if you're looking at these guys aren't taking meds. I'm assuming
the VA throws medicine at these
right,
guys.
and that's
I mean, my dad had like 60 bottles of pills when we went through literally 60 different medications. It was just terrible to watch.
There's a pill for everything. They can fix everything with a pill, but it doesn't fix anything. It puts a Band-Aid on it, and like Tom said, everybody wants to stare at the Band-Aid, and it doesn't fix anything. Right. And I'm gonna say 100% right now, there's not going to be a politician that fixes this. The VA is not going to fix this. It's going to be the grassroots nonprofits that step up and save veterans day after day. And it's going to be groups like all of ours, the Wheels for Warriors, the Deuce Ministry Outfitters. It'll be those groups that's going to save veterans. It's not the politicians. It's not a movie star.
Oh, I 1,000% agree. I feel like we all, I think the goal is we don't care about followers. We want our voices to get out there, and your voices and the stories and these things to reach home is, like last week, great guest. It was a very positive and upbeat show, right? We didn't deal a lot with so much the mental health piece, but then today we have to take stuff serious. Like, this is real shit. I mean, these people are taking their lives. These veterans are taking their lives, and it's bullshit. Like, we have to, like, it takes me back to Tom's first show when he literally got super passionate and just started saying how, like, it's enough with words. It's time for action. And last night, and I don't know the guy. In France, I know that was your brother. I didn't know your brother, but my heart is just out for you guys, because this is I feel like something could have been done differently. Sorry about my dog. He's on fire tonight.
I could be extremely passionate. I feel the biggest problem is, I mean, besides Jason having the second nicest hat here, I think, you know, when you break it down, it's what are we doing to stop it?
Right.
Like there's us, all these groups.
Right.
But the biggest thing I think that's really important is, so I shared a what was the post?
Which one? This morning?
No, France. What?
Oh.
It was the Guitar for Vets.
The Guitar for Vets, yeah.
I shared that. He never heard of it, and then, you know, that was intriguing to him. So it's things like that we come across that we know, but there's hundreds of thousands of veterans that would never think about it.
Yep.
But it ain't my shit, so I'm not going to push it. And I feel that's true, because if it's not my shit, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, so when you're pushing everyone's thing,
Wow.
as a movement, you could do it.
Wow. You guys reading the comment on there?
I just saw that.
I can speak on the pill situation. Again, that comment hit home. So I got hit by an IED in 2011 in Afghanistan. I got a crazy bad TBI. My spine's all messed up and all that stuff. And DOD just pushed meds and all that stuff. And my anti-anxiety gave me more anxiety. My sleeping pills woke me up in a cold sweat. And I thought, like, every night I'd wake up with that feeling in my chest and the pressure on my face. And every night when I woke up, it felt like I was getting blown up again. So as far as the pills and all that stuff goes, I'm a huge advocate against the pills. I'm more of an advocate on being holistically healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, getting out there, doing things like this, having a platform to speak on. Because again, you know, and for me personally, and I know there's a lot of other people out here, and that's one of my big initiatives with the nonprofit, is bringing awareness to TBIs and how pills can affect TBIs.
Right. Well, and look at even Shauna, to follow up to her other comment, trigger over and over, and I didn't hit the safety. Meds don't help. So there you go. I mean, that just follows exactly up what you were saying, France. And I know even for my dad, I would literally go through and I'd ask the doctor, because I'd go with him, and what the hell do some of these pills do? And they're like, oh, well, this is balancing. I'm like, I think you guys, if there's that many pills, you guys are doing something wrong.
Right.
So I take pills, right? And I'll be honest with what Francis is saying. If I don't take them, that triple times it and double times it. Like, you start freaking out if you, because that's a fix, not like a drug fix, but you know,
right.
It's a new switch. Like, this helps me calm down. This, if I don't have it now, it's like a flash throughout the whole day worrying about it.
Right. Now, Tom, I do want to talk about your post on Instagram. So this morning, so for those of you that have been around, you know, follow Tom Ettinger on Instagram or SitRep22. But can you tell us a little bit about your post this morning?
So it was a "Don't worry, get happy" post. It's real simple until you see it. It's real simple, and social media is so weird. I've had hundreds of different ideas like that, but you know, when you're not talking about the most popular and ignored topic, you know what I'm saying? When veteran suicide is ignored, and it's not like that. I was telling France earlier, the hashtag situation, all that, you got to make it look real. You have to make it a reality.
Right.
So why not show the bullets? You know, why not put the rounds down there? Let them see each one counts for someone that we're definitely going to lose today. And that's what the biggest thing that pisses me off the most is we're talking about fucking guarantees now. Like we're beyond fucking keychains and push-ups and fucking nonsense. We're beyond that. And you're just going to start getting more and more pissed off veterans that are going to be sick of just the neglect. And you have people with all these issues from over there. You're going to start bringing that shit over here because the last 20 years hasn't even fucking exploded yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're still dealing with Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like as a society, we haven't even seen the veterans in the last 20 years on what, what could get bad. And what we have seen is fucking veteran suicides skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
these younger guys. I mean, it's the Afghanistan and Iraq. That's what we're seeing now.
So I plan on posting the most obscene fucking reality. And this is real because everyone knows somebody. Everyone knows someone that's a veteran. Like I had someone message me and say, "Why are you mad?" I'm like, because you know somebody. Mm-hmm. Everyone ignores it. Everyone fucking knows a cousin that served, because everyone that did serve, you had a grandfather that served.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody usually. So there's always something, you have some kind of thing, but you ignore it until it becomes real, until it's fucking on Facebook 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Well, if I can share real quick, I mean, I've talked about it a lot on the show that my youngest is, getting ready to graduate high school, and Tom and I've talked about he's looking at the Marines right now. Air Force is still on the table, but my wife made the comment last night, how do we keep this from happening to him? And I'm like, we just gotta be the best support system as he goes through it, as once he comes back, whatever he does, we just got to make sure we're kind of, and it's funny because my wife's like always in everybody's face. Like if anything's wrong with them, she's in their face. Right. And I said, that's who everybody's going to need is that person. Like, don't stop bullshit. Doing
not that. Oh, it'll be okay.
Yeah, no,
because for the reality of it is a lot of people don't know what you went through there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, I think, what kind of gets a lot of people is, oh, well, just be normal. Like, just be normal. Like, really? Like, I just spent 4, 8, 20 years going over and protecting what we believe country. In.
Or, I mean, even staying here and you're still doing a job to protect this
absolutely.
Country.
You're not doing what you want to do. You sign the line. You got to go do your job. And someone's telling you what to do every day. And they've trained you to kill people, basically, is the reality of it, right? Kill or be killed. And then you come back and then they're like, okay, well, hey, like you said, 6, 7 months down the road. Hey, thanks for your service. Here you go. And
see you later.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck.
And I think that's the problem, because the military prides you in your own shit, awards, decorations. So when you have all of that, and say you're a good military guy in whatever branch,
you're a good soldier,
squared away, or Marine, whatever the case is, whatever it is, whatever we're talking about. But say that guy's squared away. Once he gets out and he's not getting his ass kissed for doing the things, that's humility, and that becomes hard on people because they're not getting the same thing.
And you go from an extremely structured world to mass chaos. You get out to the civilian world and it is not structured at all anymore.
No,
it's crazier than it's ever been right now.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, at least
I got out 20 years ago, and only did my 4 years and didn't have to get out to this.
Well, and I mean, at least we're back in an age where there's some respect shown to you guys. It's still not where it needs to be, but my dad, Marine Corps vet, he went through it, from Vietnam, did 2 tours in Vietnam, and he said it was the worst thing to come back home. So people saw you in your uniform, they tried to spit on you.
So on vacation, I ended up talking to a Vietnam veteran for like 20 minutes. Just, anytime I see a hat, I have some stars from American Veterans First, and I've printed out some of our stickers and I've slipped it in there, and I just walk up and say, hey, thank you for your service. And I just hand it to them. Right. And someone will look at it and they'll do their thing. I'm like, hey, it's just a show on YouTube. If you want to check it out, check it out. but thank you for your service. And man, they will just open up, right? And they'll just start talking. And I go, hey, I've heard the stories of you guys coming back from Vietnam, and I know how rough it was for you guys. Or I've heard this. And he goes, man, he goes, this is what I'm thankful for, and again, he might be someone that's, already adjusted and stuff. So what I do is I'm trying to make that effort to go talk to people, or, most guys are proud of their service. So they will wear their garb. I guess I shouldn't say garb. I apologize. That was poor lack of words.
Military
they'll wear what they have. Right. And so that's just one of the, I'm just rambling at this point. So
we got you.
I haven't got my words up lately.
But the thing is, if more people would do that, if you would step out and you see that guy wearing the Vietnam hat, walk up to him and say, thanks for your service.
Yeah.
You don't know what you just did for that guy that day.
Yeah. Oh, I make it a point.
Oh yeah.
I make it a point. Like, I will get up off my chair, and Shauna's like, she knows. Shauna knows by now. She sees me, and she'll let me do my thing, and then done, and then come back and have dinner or do whatever we're doing, walking around. I mean, we walked around San Diego, 20,000 steps in one day, so it was nice to walk from that and be in that environment. And then coming into this episode, I'm actually very comfortable today about being able to talk about all this stuff. And
right.
And then
you lived through it.
Yeah. And I said, I've been texting my mom back and forth because obviously my dad went through it. And I said, I go, hey, listen, if you want to throw your 2 cents in outside the comments, you can come on. She's like, no. She goes, you guys are doing a good job. She's like, I don't want to mess it up. I go, but this is what we need to do, is we need to have that conversation. It's that awkward conversation, because that, even when she's still going through therapy and she's still going to see her person. And we haven't really talked a lot. We've talked a little bit, but not as much, probably as we should, but she has people that she talks to also.
There you go.
Okay. I'm actually going to touch on what Shadow Mark just put.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a good comment. I have something after you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead first.
So Shadow, in response to your comment, I 110% agree with you. Everyone has different needs. They have different paths that they want to take and different paths that they've come from. It all starts with a conversation. That's it. It starts with a conversation. It starts with networking. It starts with putting yourself out there. Me speaking from personal experience again, my needs are different than other veterans' needs, So yeah, it just starts with a conversation, and we invest in that conversation. It's not like a conversation with someone at a bar. Hey, my name is France. 2 seconds later, you forget my name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Be in the right now.
And France actually said it. The networking, having that network to. And this is part of my hero stock deal is we're bringing in the nonprofits to show the nonprofits, because when I got out in 2000, I knew of 2. That's all I knew of. I knew of the Legion. I knew of the VFW. That's the only ones I knew of. You start looking around now, just like the introduction of Guitars for Vets. That was something that was new to me because of hero stock. I'm finding all of these different group. There's something out there for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got us stuck in Nebraska, man. Once we started meeting you, that we were like stuck in Nebraska for 2 months.
Well, there was the fishing.
But we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because
see, like back in the beginning of it, we, my big first, oh my gosh, 22 Mohawks with Dave and Stacy, like legit. Well, I was giddy. I'm like, hey, I was giddy because I knew that they were important, right? They had a great foundation, and Dave, dude, Dave's just a smart dude. Stacy is such a backbone in that organization, and for what they're doing, it's unbelievable. Like, we need to bring them back on just to get some of the ideas that they have, because the time that we interviewed them to time now, dude, all the pro sports, all the outside fishing expeditions, the rucks, the paragraph, the parachute jumps, and the dogs. Dude, how many dogs have they been matching up with vets,
Right.
And obviously we have an ambassador
Those
for
Rhodesian
22 Mohawks
Ridgebacks.
here, so
they got a whole set of Rhodesian Ridgebacks going out.
Yeah, I think Dave and Stacy don't sleep.
No, I don't think they do.
No, I don't think so either.
No way.
I don't even know how they post so much. Like it's like my timeline is Dave and Stacy and 22 Mohawks and Tom
Yeah.
and Hero Stock.
And Hero Stock.
Now we'll get France on there and see,
Yeah.
how much France is doing. And
well, we don't. I want to join. I want him to get and explain some of the stuff, but I really don't because I'm excited, right?
That's where I'm like, I don't want France to share too much, but we really do appreciate Tom. We appreciate you having him join, and France, we appreciate you joining. But we're trying to be hesitant about sharing too much about your story because we want you to tell your own story when it's time, right?
No, absolutely understandable. And again, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the platform to just kind of get out there. I was talking to Tom about this earlier, and I've got so much material for podcast and stuff I want to talk about. And I've finally kind of built up the courage to hopefully be that sounding board for individuals that were in my situation 2 weeks ago. Right. I want to talk about 1,000,001 things, but as soon as I open my mouth, I feel like an imposter. I know the guy that got hit with me, he got hit a lot worse than I did. Like, who am I to talk about getting blown up?
And we can't even say.
I know.
We don't understand. Like, that's not.
You were there.
Like, what do you? How do you say that? Because it's such a, like, you don't think about it in that way, right? We wouldn't think about that. Oh, like, I told Tom, and Eric, you're on vacation. We were literally on a walk, and I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling with certain things, and having, and it's some of it I feel is I'm spoiled, right, in some ways, but some of it's very real, and I feel like there's a lot of negativity hitting me. That's why, like, even leading up to every show, I'm like, oh, I got to do the show, but then, like, tonight, even though I knew what we were talking about, I was absolutely looking forward to this because I knew, and France, you've been a very welcome addition, talking to Jason, talking to Tom. You're going to make me feel a little bit better. It's not about feeling better about it, but you're going to help me understand it a little more. So I'm going to feel better. But I made the comment to my wife, like, if it wasn't for you, I'd be gone. Like, straight up. I have 4 kids, like, right now. Well, and Tom, yeah. And Eric and everybody else out there. No,
I'll tell you right now.
But I straight up, and she can speak to it. Like, we were walking, we turned a corner. I just told her, I said, look, I'm like, if it wasn't for you, I'm not here. And so last night hit me hard because it was like, oh, I'm not even there. All right. I'm way better. Like, but it was real. It was just, and she's like, no, you're not even going to start. And I haven't lived what you guys lived, but it was just what I'm going through and how it's hit me and, where I'm at. So.
But life in general can be a grind. I mean, it doesn't matter military or not. Life in general is a grind. And there's times when shit happens and you hit that point where you're like, why am I doing what I do? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you do.
A lot of it right now.
Yeah. It's life, man. And it's unfortunate because it hits everybody. You don't have to be a veteran. The veteran numbers talked about that 22 a day, which is bullshit.
Right.
It's talked about, but it hits everybody, and veterans are being focused on because that number's pushed out there. But you look nationwide, how many suicides a day we have.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like over 130 a day.
Yeah.
For civilians.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, the numbers are just astounding when you start looking at that and you're like, why? Why are we at that point where it's easier to do that? You know what I mean? It is the easy way out. That's what everybody always says. It's the easy way out, but it happens in all walks of life, no matter if you're a veteran or not.
I think if you go to sitrep22.org, there's a shirt there called Contact, Care, and Listen. And I that to me, when we were coming up with me and Mike, that's the biggest thing. Because if people aren't going to contact, if I'm dealing with a whole bunch of stuff, it's harder for me to reach out. And Mike displaying that is something I had a revelation not too long about, where it's like, this is it. You put your laundry in the street and say, this is it. And I think when you can do that, that's when you're good.
Yeah.
When you can say, you know what, this is it. I'm not in the greatest shape, but you know what? I got this, and that. When you can see what you got and what you could visualize it. You know what I mean? I think that proves how good, if you that connection with somebody. He felt comfortable, obviously, to tell his wife. There's a lot of people that won't even feel comfortable to tell their spouse, or but they'll tell a veteran quick.
Right.
I believe that more than anything, that you'll tell a fellow veteran all your dirt because it's comfortable.
Yep.
Because they're in the same box no matter what.
Yep.
Right.
No matter branch, no matter rank, no matter all that is irrelevant. And you get brainwashed with that the whole time.
Well, except for Coast Guard. We don't tell Coast Guard anything.
Matt dropped off. Matt was on here. He's Coast Guard.
That's like,
but we love you, Matt. We love you.
Yeah, he had a meeting to go to.
But yeah, you're right. You're right, Tom. I mean, it's the easiest thing to do is to talk to a veteran, because we have the same mentality, we have the same mindset, we have the same lingo. It's easy. It's easy to talk to a veteran being a veteran.
And I think one thing that I've been thinking about the whole time everyone was talking was, France made a powerful statement. And would you say that was 07, 08 when you got blown up?
No, 11.
11. And he didn't get out. Like, a lot of people might not grab that. He still served. You know what I mean? So it's not like it just went away.
Right.
You carry that, and then the more shit that comes on, another rock in the pack, and you carry that, and you keep, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not something that can just hit you right now. It's something that can be bothering you for a long time.
Right.
That's not visible. You know what I mean? So, like, before he even said it, there's no fact. They're saying how long you were in, what rank, what branch. Oh, when did you get blown up? You know what I mean? That's not in the fucking questions.
Right.
So it's hard to bring that out of somebody that's dealing with something that's caged in, because you can't see it. But if you care enough and you create that conversation, then it might be able to ooze out a little bit. Then you could pull a little bit more. But there's no string to pull.
Right.
You're not doing anything.
Right. No, I get you. Now, I do want to address, because we're talking about, talking to each other and the veterans with veterans. And, once you get out, it's like the branches. We know there's the banter, right, between branches. But, Tom, for example, you pretty much worked, in country your whole time, right?
I was in Afghanistan in 2004, but yeah, I didn't do like all the pumps like a lot of other guys.
Right. You didn't do combat, things like that. Right. And then France, you obviously were out of country. Again, we're trying to be careful not to share too much, but we've actually, I know Eric came across somebody who was like, oh, they weren't in combat, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like that. Come on. That's seriously a thing. Like, and I get it. And I'm sure there's something there, but we look down on somebody if they weren't in combat. It just because you weren't in combat doesn't mean you didn't deal with some of the same stuff necessarily.
The person that raised their hand and took the oath, that's the only thing that counts, because you don't choose your job. I mean, you could play the game and say, yeah, you choose your job and you do all that, but like, you don't go the base you want to go, or say, I'm not going to go on this deployment. You make a promise when you swear in that this is it. And if there's people saying not combat, it don't count, you didn't raise your hand. So you have no right. And even if you did and you have that view, you are a clown.
No, I'm gonna tell you, you do the no combat doesn't count and step up to my toes, you're leaving with no teeth.
Thank you, Jason.
I mean, that's just I'll drop you, because I don't care who you are, and it's not just, cops, fire. You sign that line, you go into that battle, dude. You're a hero. It doesn't matter.
Well, you're signing up to do it, whether you get to do it or not. It's not necessarily your choice. France, I know you wanted to say something.
I have a lot to say, but to Tom's,
I know it's all about Tom. I know
it's all about it. Sit right.
To Tom's point about, after I got hit, I stayed in and kept going and everything like that. There's a lot of veterans just like me that do that after they go through something super traumatic overseas or stateside, they walk into someone's room and they see him there, that non-responsive, stuff like that, right? And then they stay in. For me personally, I stayed in to try and affect change, to change a culture in the Marine Corps of, hey, and talking about the last point, if you didn't see combat, you're not really a service member. You didn't really serve and all that stuff. And jumping on recruiting duty, I had a lot of my recruiters, they would come up to me and they were like, hey, every time, we see you in a uniform and all that stuff, like we get starstruck. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're like, oh, because you have the combat action ribbon and Purple Heart ribbon, right? And I'm like, you guys serve too. Like, one of my best recruiters, he had his award up in his office, and I was creeping on his award. And this was one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, every time I see you in uniform, I'm starstruck. I'm reading his award, a personal award. I'm like, dude, you're a rock star. Like, you got 1,200 Marines from California to Afghanistan. Like, you did that.
Wow.
So yeah, it's it's a culture thing in all branches. It's and that's something I stayed in to kind of change that culture and change that stigma of, if you haven't seen combat, if you don't have this silly little ribbon on your chest, you don't have a box to stand on. You don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
And so we're clear, that's all coming from somebody who was literally blown up. Like, so that's why I definitely appreciate your point of view on that, because it's been something that's been brought up. And, I think, Tom, you pointed it out. Jason, obviously going to knock somebody's teeth out. So, it's a real thing.
September, everybody.
Right. We could have a rumble in the dirt parking lot at TJSS.
I'm just checking in on you, Eric. Eric's over here dying.
Sorry, I apologize about that. I don't know what I was getting all choked up.
We got my dog's going crazy. That's why I can't wait till we move into our new studio upstairs. Hopefully, more away from him.
I get the window too, by the way.
Whatever. You a window licker. Anyways. Man, because I probably could keep talking about this all night, but I don't want to hold any. And anytime we have Tom on here, we're good for 2 hours. So I don't know that France signed himself up for that, Tom. I'm sure he knows you by now.
Hey, Mike,
all good.
You're good, son. Step off.
I think me and Tom was an hour and 40 on yours, and it was like 20 minutes before and then 30 minutes after.
Yeah, me and Jason could have done a whole weekend together just talking.
You and Tom and France just probably hung up right before the show, right? You've been talking for 2 days.
No, it was weird. When I was talking to France, I could tell. You know what I'm saying? And he had to go, and I'm like, but I gotta tell you this real quick.
I still got more.
I'm not done.
Yeah, funny story about that. So my son's 13, and we work out almost every day. He keeps me honest. And I had just taken my pre-workout, and Tom messaged me. He's like, hey, I can talk to you in 10 minutes. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
I was going like 1,000,000 miles a minute talking. The workout just kicked in. I was like, if I don't get off the phone, I'm going to yeah.
Oh, Mike, and he got hit with that good internet. So he got hit with that good Arkansas internet. So
That's funny.
It was a big conversation of us looking at each other. And I'm like, did he hear me? Did I even say it?
So, France, where do you live?
In Connecticut.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We're going to get to visit a new state.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome.
Yeah. You know about Nebraska, right? You heard of that place?
I've got like 9 more people I can send to you guys from Nebraska.
We got to put a gap between the Nebraska people. So. But France, we definitely appreciate, if you want to go check out some of our shows to see some of the groups. I mean, we really try to. Eric does an amazing job.
It's just so much on you.
It's just SitRep22.
Super excited.
It's just sitrep22.org.
Listen.
You're pulling it from the website.
It's .spiritcell.com. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. As a normal Joe that just gets on the internet, oh, that's a cool hat. What's that say? Oh, let me type it in. I'm just telling you what pops up.
Watch out, we're gonna start fighting now.
Yeah, because
by the way, it's
.org is everyone knows the weather's been weird, so stand by for deliveries. This
oh, yeah. Is that what it is?
Pew pew. Shots have been fired. Mike is taking some more hits here. Pew pew. I get it. I
just love that Jason came out with his hat on.
Hey, Jason,
right?
No, because Eric was just complaining about not getting his hat.
Whoa. I was just bringing it up to the CEO.
Hey, let's save this conversation for not on air.
I'm just saying.
While we're talking in front of the whole world. So, anytime you start a new company, there's hiccups, right? Right, France? Right, Jason? There's hiccups.
Michael, you don't even wear a hat, and you got a hat. You don't even wear hats.
I wore it. Jason called me out. Yeah. I wore it a couple weeks ago. He's like,
hey,
I
know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
You don't even
and then right after I did that, or watched you guys' show, I went on and ordered my stuff.
Yeah, and you live in Nebraska.
France,
that's my point.
Please, if you want to put it in the comments, and then we can repost.
Edit this out. Shit. What's that? 22.org. Shit.
SitRep22.org
/.
Order now.
Yeah, order now.
Get your order now. You'll get it before Eric.
Yeah, maybe before Christmas.
And Tom. Okay, we're not. That's over.
For those Christmas shopping, orders are due now.
I call an end to that one. That conversation's over. What did Nana Penny? I have dead peeps in Connecticut. What?
Nana?
What?
Okay.
You gotta love your mom.
Nana.
You gotta love Nana Penny.
Remember, Nana got me a.
Yes, Tonto. Eric has crazy stalking skills. So France, if you're anywhere on the internet, Eric will find you.
I'm gonna find some stuff.
I said hi to Eric earlier on his live stream when he was driving.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I like to jump on there because it's a lot of my beer and my beard boys are on my Instagram, the personal one. So I was giving some shout out to them, and I had to call another podcast out because they said that we didn't sign up for their scheduling board, which I know I did, but I'll get.
Who said that? Who said that?
Salsa and Brews.
Oh,
Monday nights at 5:30.
So I do want to point out, France. Again, thank you for joining us. We have his IG up there, Atlas_Rising_Initiative. I am looking forward to, I think it's June 8th, right? Is when we have it coming. Which is cool cool and kind of sucks in two ways, because it's cool that we're finally getting scheduled back out again, and sucks that now I'm very interested in learning more about you, and now we gotta wait. But it'll be a good wait and something to look for. Eric, your favorite Thompson just got home. Oh, that must be Chief.
Hey,
Chief just got home.
Thompson.
But the road, look at Tonto missed your last live. Yeah, if you follow Eric on his Instagram lives, it's usually a lot of cursing.
That's bullshit.
And trucker Tourette's. Right?
It's Snapseed_trucker, and it's literally random now. So yeah, the road rage, that was a good one. I'll tell you, that was a good one. Cruising through Modesto, and we chased some dude.
And then we cannot forget about our good buddy. And I will post this in all the comments. I'll post everybody's information in the follow-up comments of this. But we cannot forget Hero Stock. and Jason Steiner and the things you're doing. I'm looking forward to watching and enjoying Eric through Eric's eyes. You know,
because you want to know why? Because he's going to say, "What in the hell is this guy doing? Why is he doing it like that?"
I know he's going to do things that are just going to be
doing. Does he even know what we do over here?
You're just going to have to take that mic. I might have to send you some internet. I don't know how that Nebraska internet is.
Yeah, right.
I get a bag, like a Ziploc bag, like for my lunch.
You get 100 megs. Do you get 100 megs?
I'm sure. At least. I have no idea.
Hey,
look at poor Derek. I just want to be someone's favorite Thompson. Damn it! Well, you're not your mom's, apparently.
Yeah.
Love you, Derek.
See, this figure out a way to get Eric.
Oh, go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just wondering if we can figure out a way to get Eric stocked up for September 9th Hero Stock in Nebraska.
Oh, that's a few months away. So we might be able to.
I hate all of
that. I'm just trying to make it stocked up. No, I'm serious because I'm going to be there, and I don't just want to be there with one shirt on and wearing a hat. And they're like, "Hey, where'd you get that hat?" You know, I don't need that publicity, man. So I just want to make sure.
So here's what we can do. We can have Eric jump with the Bravo Zulu group. That's going to possibly jump in with an American flag.
I'm 350 pounds plus, and I'm
gravity works so well with us. Like gravity, you know, there's science, and then there's fat guy science.
I'll be the X on the ground, land here. If you land here, you get a free sit rep 22 hat. We'll mail it to you. Here's a coupon.
I hate all of you. I really do.
Maybe I'll bring some Contagion Effect show hat. Oh
wait, we don't
have hats.
We don't even make
we have our own hats. I got some leggings and a fanny pack.
We do have leggings.
I've got a printer for that. Just saying.
We got leggings where Eric's on the butt and I think I'm on the front.
No, there's nothing wrong with corn. I got a feeling I'm gonna be drinking some whiskey
corn?
out there.
Yeah.
We actually just had Soldier Valley Spirits, which is a local distillery.
Ooh.
They're going to be serving at the event.
Oh, that is awesome. Hey, that is dope. I saw a link. It might have been on your guys' page. I saw a link on it. That's badass.
Yeah.
You, the bottle you got the bottle?
What's that?
Okay.
Do you have the bottle by you?
Give me just a second.
He's probably drinking it.
The bottle's badass. The bottle's badass.
Tonto, 250 and 350, there's a difference. I know that's weird math, but there is a difference. And that extra 100 pounds doesn't float.
So this is the bottle from Soldier Valley. They have it's a canteen bottle. Nice. And this was actually specially made for our Warriors program, our hockey program. So we labeled them all ourselves, and then some of them are numbered with players' numbers and stuff like that. And then they got the dog tag.
Nice.
Up at the top.
See, that's what we need, Tom, right there. That's better.
Yeah, I need a bottle of that.
I'm getting the orders out first. Before we start getting dog tags.
Oh, and I'm gonna put it out there because he didn't yet. France's bourbon collection's stupid.
Really?
Oh,
it's stupid. Ask him what's today? Whiskey Wednesday, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
I saw him zipping. I did see. I was like, "Ooh, there's a little color in there." Let's see.
yeah. It's Sazerac Baby Saz tonight. So it's 6-year Sazerac rye. But I have I think right now a little over 120 bottles of whiskey, bourbon, scotch. And for me, that was the bourbon is like I collect it and I buy it for special occasions, or I pour out every year to remember someone that passed away that I broke the seal with on that bottle, or for anniversaries and everything like that. So that's where my bourbon collection comes from. I'm not an alcoholic. Yeah.
Letting us know that, but
okay, so the title of this episode
is whiskey.
I'm not an alcoholic.
Well, and that's what's funny is Eric, because we're remodeling a little bit around here, and we may have just bought a wine fridge that holds almost 160 bottles. So I'm like, yeah, There's 160 bottles sitting in that
it's
wine
full
fridge right
already,
now.
and they just bought it. It's
Yeah.
full.
It is full. We needed it. We needed it. So
You need
it's,
like 3 of them.
yeah, we do. But we're gonna build a cellar in the garage someday. That's the goal. Half the garage is gonna be a cellar.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to send one of these Hero Stock cups
Of
back
course
to
he
Eric
is.
for
Of course,
you.
Mike.
Oh, I appreciate. He said
Since you don't get to come. I had a
Oh.
great friend from high school make these for me, so I'll send one back for you. Since
Can
you
you make
don't
sure Tom gets one? Can you make sure Tom gets one?
Yeah, before me.
Definitely.
I listen to him. I'm waiting for the drop, son. I'm buying everything.
You'll probably get it like within a week after you buy it, though.
I guarantee it.
All right, bye guys.
Thanks for joining the Contagious.
Yeah, thanks for joining. You're all deuces. Man, hey, I appreciate you guys. You know, it's not necessarily a topic we want to talk about. It's a topic we need to talk about, right? And you know, first off, thank you, Jason, for posting it and bringing that up. You know, Tom adding to it and answering my call and asking if I could talk to you early this morning. Well, it was earlier my time than it was your time. And then France even getting on quickly and joining us and sharing your story. Definitely look forward to your story in a month or so here. And now I'm really excited for it. So thank you guys for making tonight happen on the fly and really trying to open our eyes, not only our eyes, but hopefully the world's eyes, you know, because now the internet's forever. And we just put another hour and a half long message about this topic out there. And
and to jump on Mike real quick is, you know, when you have that friend and you're like, hey dude, what's going on? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. I'm good. Like, that's all cool and great. But then you find out that, hey man, like I'm in it right now. Like I'm in it, you know, and then you find out, and obviously I'm on vacation. You didn't reach out, but I'm kind of like, hey man, like, dude,
no,
it doesn't matter.
It's not about that.
Doing.
Tom actually put it in a really good spot. He made a comment this morning and literally kind of put it in one of the places I feel, and it's not everybody around me, but he said, you know, you do a lot for everybody else, but maybe everybody else isn't really there for you. And it's not about people needing to be there for me, or, you know, because first off, like Tom, you all know, like, dude, I'm just swamped because I get up, I start Melly Consulting, then I go to the other job, then I go back to Melly Consulting, and then try to spend some time with my wife, right? So it was exactly, Tom made a great comment, kind of like put me back in check, like, oh shit, that's kind of it, and maybe I need to look at it a little differently. So yeah, thank you for that, Tom, by the way. I didn't really say much when you said that, because you kind of just punched me in the gut with it, but it was real, it was true.
I go for the jugular.
Yeah,
I go for the jugular.
Don't mention the damn clothing anymore.
No. You kind of chopped it up, but I said, you know, you're not going to get the same energy. You get if you give someone a lot of energy, a lot of people, and you don't feel that same energy back, that could put you in a pit of despair, like by yourself. And I'll tell you what, I know about 1 million people that feel that way. You know, it's something that's real, and when you can acknowledge it, that's the powerful thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, ignoring shit don't do nothing.
But it did make it real, because it's a lot of it's even me, because I kind of put myself on an island sometimes. But it is what it is. What are you looking for?
I say shit.
Yeah, you're like, an island of 190 bottles of wine.
Yeah, something like that. Well, my wife's been sick, so we haven't had any wine since Saturday. You know, it's not like we drink every day, but man, it's been a real road. Anyways, it's been an amazing show. Like, again, not a topic we want to talk about, a topic we need to talk about. And I think you guys laid out some things that we can do. You shared some insight. You know, I know France will be talking to you more. Obviously, Jason and Tom, we're always connected now forever. Looking forward to seeing Eric go to Hero Stock and and all the things that are going to happen. And then we're getting another group together next week of all the musicians, right? You know, one of which is playing at Hero Stock. So We're excited about
next
that.
week's gonna be cool too.
Yeah, next week's
Every
gonna be
week's
fun.
every week's cool.
Every week.
And I'm actually pushing for the other two to be playing at Hero Stock next year, including the one that's playing there this year.
Yeah,
Nice.
that would be dope.
Nice.
So full veteran country night. So
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
can I throw out one last thing?
No. Yeah, absolutely.
Deuces.
Absolutely.
No, seriously, as somebody that has run a nonprofit, if you are listening to this, find a nonprofit local to you. Help them out. Be a volunteer. Give them money. Help them. Support them. Do whatever you can do, because it will be the grassroots veteran nonprofits that are going to help our veterans. Donate there. If you're going to donate money, donate to a veteran nonprofit local.
I think that's another whole episode of the who to donate to and I don't want to say who not to, but where it's going. You know what I'm saying?
When I keep making the comment about like Tom has this amazing idea that is someday, Tom, it's going to come to life, right? And the goal is to make
shirts.
Well,
worried about his fucking shirts. I can't get that or
Hey! I didn't even ask him. He just asked me, and then it's been waiting.
I did. I'm following up like a good friend, trying to find out, make sure you're being taken care of, and yeah. And I know you'll tell me.
As long as Jason has his hat, that's all.
Hey, that's all that matters. And then he's wearing Chris Whittemore's Terror to Triumph, right?
And I would have been wearing the sit rep shirt, but it didn't come in.
There it is. There it is. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's get Eric. Where's Tonto's sticker? Everybody on here wants stickers.
I'm sure
Francis is sitting there waiting for a sticker. Damn it.
Hey, so if you send me your email or not your email, I got your email. I don't know. Just send me your freaking address. I'll send some out.
I heard that earlier and I ignored it because I was like, wait a minute, no wine was offered. Not a damn sticker was offered.
No, there's not stickers that are they're not on the site or anything. Well, there's a 9x9 which will take up half your car.
We got to redo our stuff. But I'm not I don't care so much about the gear as I do about the show itself. So that's why.
But we all like to wear the paraphernalia.
I like wearing, like I want to. You were nice enough for me. Yeah.
I got you Chris's shirt, which is dope. So
hopefully Atlas has some stuff.
I've already looked. He does.
Oh yeah. So
here it is.
Then we'll have some other gear, right?
Yeah. So real quick, the 3x3-inch sticker that we have for Contagion Effect goes into the Ziploc bag with the flag star.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I hand out to veterans when I see them. So they are available, but they're not available because I don't have any more. But they're already.
He's got to go talk to American Veterans first.
I have to get them, and then I got to go to the sticker maker person.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, all right.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate you guys, all of you guys.
Thank you.
France, can't wait to get your story out there.
Very excited.
The only thing that I ask is if you guys can share this, subscribe, and share it. Let everyone know you're on. That way, that's where we help the groups. And
to Jason's point, right? These grassroots programs, man, if you know somebody and they're not getting that visibility, not that we're gonna all of a sudden make it happen, but with what's happened, right? If we talk to somebody, then you're gonna get Shadow Mark, you're gonna get somebody like Tom, maybe so now they're gonna get a larger audience that they can start hitting, and that's the overall goal, right? I mean, we were lucky enough to get somebody who has 500,000 followers on TikTok last week, right? And had a great story. We didn't talk much about mental health in that story, but it was a lot of positive, right? So there's veterans, there's a lot. You all are doing amazing things. And we need to continue to highlight that. And I think as a group, we're starting to get there. I want to do it more. I want to do more. Thank you, Eric, for putting that up. Thank you.
Stand by.
Thank Nana
for operators.
Our operators are currently on break right now for all
union
orders.
Break. Yeah.
Getting a shirt from syrup.org is like syrup22.org, is like getting a hold of someone at the VA.
Oh,
wow.
Hey, on that note, I'm putting the glasses back on.
I'm hurt, man.
I'm making a mad dash out of here.
I just tried to help.
SITREP
All I did was try to help.
SITREP $22.
Yeah.
SITREP22.org.
And veterans organizations have to work together. I talked to a guy up in Michigan, and he was telling me that like their veterans organizations, they want the whole pie to themselves. Like nobody will work together. So we're actually talking about doing a pre-hero stock party next year in Michigan, on Lake Michigan.
Wait. So we are.
I know.
Jason and I had this whole conversation. We're like, dude, it would be kind of cool if we could make hero stock. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're gonna lose control of that whole situation. I mean,
he offered me a king salmon fishing trip to come up there and check it out. So I'm like,
can't pass that up.
I got to go up and look at it at least. So no,
I can send you some ice if you want to send me some back.
Yeah, right.
It take as long as stuff.
It may actually be one of those deals where we start looking outside of Nebraska to do a pre-party, but always host the main party here.
Okay. Or 48 other pre-parties.
Possibly.
Because I think that's the thing is if you missed the Hero Stock show, you need to go watch it and what Hero Stock's about, but there's no cost, right? For the veterans and first responders, it's absolutely free, and it's meant to show these great men and women, all the organizations that are out there, and have some fun, enjoy yourself, but get to know who's out there and around you, and get to meet other people. And to Derek's point from Shadowmark and France, you covered it beautifully, is just having the conversation. Doesn't matter who you are, what you're about, there's going to be somebody out there for you. It's just and with you having so many organizations, Jason, that's what makes Hero Stock a great thing. So that's why I was like, it's going to be like, you start growing, you're only in year 2 and look at what's happening, right?
I know.
It's kind of like the beard. It's out of control, bro.
I gotta get it trimmed. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need
no, it is, dude. And I want to come back on and talk to you guys about it, because so much has changed even since we talked the first time. Just the growth of it, that kind of thing, that I'm like beyond excited about it. And but yeah,
Derek's no longer my friend. I don't like you anymore, Derek, because I feel like that comment was pointed directly at me. Chief is my favorite Thompson. Chief and Mom are my favorite Thompsons now, for sure.
but yeah, dude, I mean, it's kind of running off the end there, that I didn't think it was going to make it this far already. And it's like, buckle in, because we're in for a ride.
Yeah. Well,
I'm actually worried about not being allowed to come to the third year already. So that's where I'm at. I'm worried about making it through this year.
Is there something we need to know about Tom?
He'll be good.
Are you going to make it from Connecticut to Nebraska, Fran?
I will try my damnedest.
Come on out, man. It's gonna be a hell of a day. That's all I could say. Is it keeps growing bigger and bigger by the day. I think now I have 5 podcasts that are coming in.
Nice.
To do live events from there. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Are you ranking?
Trying to figure out where we're going to be at. I got to run to higher ground. I'm just asking.
We were first. If I want to remind you, we were first.
We were actually the first. So yeah. Yep. And then Donald jumped on your tail. So
you said, wait, what?
Also, there will be the fashion stylistics of SITREP 22.
I'm tired of you. I'm about to take Tom out of the studio.
What are you talking about? That's real. We're gonna pack the house. Everyone's gonna have a hat.
Shauna, does France even know what Nebraska is? Them Connecticut folks.
Can he get on the show?
I know. Do you need a passport? That's great. It is a whole nother world.
It is a whole nother world.
Space shuttle. It's a whole nother world.
No, I drove across country when I got stationed. I moved to Mass, so from Cali to Massachusetts, and I definitely drove as fast as I could out of Nebraska.
Well, you definitely missed Ashland. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah,
Or
100%.
Yeah, Ashland. The
Don't call out
cult
North
of
Platte like that.
that.
Don't
That's
call
where
them out like that.
that's where all the veterans live in America is Nebraska.
Omaha,
cost
and
of
Lincoln.
living. I mean, I'm sure
Hey,
like we're over in Cali spending $1 million on everything.
But you guys watch Contagion Effect? You think every freaking nonprofit came out of
Yeah.
Nebraska?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
that's why we get excited. We're like, France, you're from Connecticut? Oh, we haven't talked to Connecticut.
Thank
That's
goodness we're going to keep you up till 10 o'clock at night. But hey,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
It's going to be like 11.
What are they in a different time zone?
Well, we start at 9.
Okay, well, maybe he's a fast sleeper.
No, this is nowhere close to my bedtime. So I'm good.
Oh, now we,
Okay.
all right. Now we know. Now we know.
Hey, I do have one question, France. So back in the corner there, is that
That is a Deadpool.
okay? Deadpool. Okay.
Well, and
Is that
then
a
what's
cow?
the
Is that a
Marine-
cow though?
What's the Marine Corps thing? A cow. That's Deadpool.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Holding a
Deadpool.
unicorn. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what's the Marine Corps? The like pyramid.
So it's a lamp.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a chair right there.
You see that?
So
Crystal?
I set that area up for myself. And now my son uses it because he's old enough. He understands what happened with his uncle.
Right.
And every time that light goes on and I sit there, as you can see out, my decanter's there, my glasses there. My kids know that I need some time. So, and there's been a few times where my son I'd find him in here, light would be on, and I would be like, okay, cool. I know you need some time.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm just glad France jumped on to see how we actually are serious sometimes.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes we're.
the
No, I
way
love
it
it.
hit-
I love it.
his delivery is very calming, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. You're gonna get learned, Tom.
There you go, Derek.
Reach out to
Derek.
them.
Lazy RW. They make corn whiskey just south of North Platte. Wow, that just sounds weird. Just south of North Platte. Strange.
Anywhere out around North Platte sounds weird anyway. So
I heard the fire chief out there.
Hey, you guys stop picking on North Platte. Damn it.
We love them. We
All
love
four-
all of them.
all them four roads that they got.
Thompsons. We love them all. All right, guys. Well, as I always say, we could hold you hostage all night and keep talking, but some of us, like Tom, have to go to sleep and get some beauty sleep.
Man, I just found this pen on my desk. You guys were looking around his shit, room, and I was like, "What do I got? What can I show?"
Hey, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Dying.
Oh, hey, Tom, I got you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. See, I got mine's in another room. Okay.
What? Did that have the Marine? Did that have the?
Yeah. So once you become a career recruiter, every time we have a conference and all that stuff, the career recruiters get together. You get presented with the sledgehammer with the 8412 on the bottom.
Ah,
So that's something else that Tom and I share.
nice. Okay, so now I got another person. If my son, I told him now that he's 18, he is not allowed to sign a contract until I talk to Tom. And now it's Tom and France. So
Absolutely.
make sure we get him the best deal possible.
I'm gonna
Whatever it may be.
I love being a Marine, but I'm gonna say go Air Force, dude. Their chow is way better.
I know.
Nice.
Trust
He's
me.
right.
I'm trying.
No one's arguing.
Yeah.
Sheridan and room service.
Well,
Yeah.
Like he's just fighting, he was a football player and he was at like 240 and he's got to be at like 190 in order to even get a ship date. So he's down to, I think he's below 220 right now.
Oh, wow.
So he's fighting his way down, but he graduates in a month and he wanted to ship out like right after graduation. I'm like, you ain't doing that.
Alex, done with high school.
Exactly.
You
And
believe
Mom Thompson. Yeah.
that?
Alex will be
man.
done with coolers.
Many moons ago, Mike, I would have had him shipping on Monday. I was thinking like that. All right.
We got to
wait.
wait.
I'm talking about. I would have had his ass shipping on Monday.
Yeah, and then he'd be part of the chubby squad. What do you guys call the guys that are a little
Fat body
overweight for
he would fall into what I would call a shipper.
Yep, that's
the way France laughed, like there's
France
something
laughed.
behind.
yeah.
When I was in, it was the fat body platoon.
Oh,
like
no.
if you were overweight, they were the fat body platoon.
Oh, no, they're still there. But in my world, as long as he left.
Oh yeah, sure.
Ship. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the drill instructor's problem then.
Yeah. Good luck, young buck.
You're gonna do great.
Those half portions are gonna be great.
Hey, I'm gonna cheer you on from here.
Got this, pal.
Yet the Air Force won't talk. We won't talk to you till you're at 190. And the Marines are like, come on. So every Tuesday he's been going and running and working out with them. So
there you go.
We'll see.
Right on.
Well, guys, thank you all. If you want to hang out behind, we can wrap up and say our thank yous to you. We do appreciate you guys. I know this again wasn't necessarily an easy topic, but it always needs to be talked about. It needs to be front of mind. We need to make it more front of mind for people, because I think last night was even, we talk about this literally every week, and I work with Tom on once in a while on Sit Rep 22, and it's still, last night was just like, shit, don't know the guy. I mean, but it just made it real again, right? So you don't like reading stuff like that and hearing stories. France, thank you for sharing a little bit of your story and what you went through with your brother and how things were. So thank you all. Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for working towards trying to fight this war, this war here on our own land. That's a lot harder, I think, than any other war right now.
Right.
So
yeah, thanks for having us on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. You guys all have a great night, and we'll be back with you after we wrap up.
Deuces.
All righty.
Take our line.
Sucker.
See you guys. Dude, Tom just straight up dropped off, man. Just disappeared. Wow. Another one. How do you feel?
Like I said, I was I'm a lot more at peace.
Right. I mean, you went through this.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, is like, knowing that you were going through it this week, I'm like,
yeah, but it's not your
no, again, it's not, but I mean,
not for a box of crayons.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Deuces. We got to wrap up. Everybody have a great night, and thank you.